Have you ever thought about what happens when your personal data falls into the wrong hands? It's an unsettling thought, isn't it? Yet in this digital age where data is a currency, data breaches, unfortunately, are a reality we cannot ignore. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is a data breach? Well, it's a security incident where sensitive, protected, or confidential data is copied, transmitted, viewed, stolen, or used by an unauthorized individual. It's a bit like having your house broken into, but instead of your television or jewelry being taken, it's your personal information that's on the line. And unfortunately, data breaches are not rare occurrences. They happen more often than we'd like to admit. Every day, companies big and small grapple with breaches of all kinds: confidentiality breaches, integrity breaches, and availability breaches. For instance, a confidentiality breach could occur when a hacker gains unauthorized access to a database containing sensitive customer information. An integrity breach might involve the alteration of crucial data, while an availability breach could mean the loss of access to vital data due to a ransomware attack. Whether it's through hacking, accidental disclosure, or loss of data storage devices, the effects of a data breach can be far-reaching and devastating, impacting not only businesses, but also individuals whose personal data is exposed. But here's the silver lining. While data breaches are a reality, they are not an inevitability. With the right knowledge and tools, we can take steps to prevent, detect, and respond effectively to them. In this video, we're going to explore the world of data breaches. We'll begin by understanding what they are, move on to what actions should be taken immediately following a breach, and then delve into the notification requirements. We'll also highlight the role of the data protection officer and discuss preventive measures and breach preparedness. And finally, we'll touch on the legal and ethical considerations surrounding data breaches. So, are you ready for a deep dive into the realm of data breaches? Good. Buckle up and let's delve into understanding what data breaches really are. A data breach is a breach of security leading to the accidental or unlawful destruction, loss, alteration, unauthorized disclosure of, or access to personal data. This definition gives us a broad understanding of what a data breach is. But let's dive deeper. Data breaches can be categorized into three main types: confidentiality breaches, integrity breaches, and availability breaches. Confidentiality breaches occur when unauthorized individuals gain access to sensitive information. A classic example is a hacker breaking into a database and stealing customer credit card information. Integrity breaches, on the other hand, involve unauthorized alteration of data. Picture a disgruntled employee who decides to tamper with important company records as an act of revenge. The data is still there, but its accuracy and reliability have been compromised. Then we have availability breaches. This is when data is rendered inaccessible to those who need it. A common example is a ransomware attack, where hackers encrypt data and demand payment for its release, effectively holding the data hostage. But let's not forget about the less dramatic, yet still harmful scenarios like accidental disclosure. This can happen when sensitive information is mistakenly sent to the wrong recipient, or when a data storage device like a laptop or hard drive is lost or stolen. These incidents may seem minor compared to a full-blown cyber attack, but they can still lead to significant data breaches. Understanding the different types of data breaches is crucial because it helps us identify potential vulnerabilities and take appropriate preventive measures. Each type of breach requires a unique response strategy, and by recognizing the signs, we can act swiftly to contain the damage. Now that we have a better understanding of what data breaches are, we need to know what actions to take when one occurs. It's not a question of if a data breach will happen, but when. When a data breach occurs, it's crucial to act swiftly and efficiently. Imagine you've just discovered a data breach. What's the first thing you do? You assess. Swiftly evaluating the scope and impact of the breach is paramount. This involves identifying what data has been compromised, how it occurred, and who may be affected. This initial investigation will guide your next steps and help you to understand the gravity of the situation. Next, you need to contain the breach. It's like stopping a leak in a pipe. You need to prevent more data from spilling out. This could mean disconnecting affected systems or changing access codes. The goal is to limit the breach's impact and prevent further damage. Remember, every second counts. Once the breach is under control, it's time to document. This isn't just about covering your tracks. It's about learning from the incident and creating a record for future reference. You'll need to record the breach details, including what happened, what data was affected, and what immediate steps you took to contain it. This information will be invaluable when you're communicating the breach to your team, affected individuals, and possibly the authorities, but don't just document for the sake of it. Be thorough, be detailed. This isn't a task to rush, it's a task to be meticulous about. Remember, this documentation may be scrutinized in the aftermath of the breach, and it's your best defense. Finally, remember to breathe. Dealing with a data breach can be stressful and overwhelming, but it's important to stay calm, focused, and methodical. Your actions in the immediate aftermath of a data breach can significantly shape its impact. They can help to limit damage, protect those affected, and restore trust in your organization's data security. Once immediate actions are taken, there are certain notification requirements to follow, but we'll get to that in the next scene. For now, remember the 3 crucial steps: assess, contain, and document. In the face of a data breach, they're your best allies. Notification is a crucial part of managing a data breach. When a data breach occurs, it's not just about mopping up the mess. A critical component of managing a data breach is the notification process. Firstly, there's the supervisory authority. It's a legal requirement to notify them within 72 hours of becoming aware of the breach. That's right, just 3 short days, but this is only if the breach is likely to result in a risk to the rights and freedoms of individuals. So, if the breach is minor and unlikely to have any significant impact, you might not need to notify the authority, but it's always better to err on the side of caution. Then there's the notification to the affected individuals. This is necessary without undue delay if the breach is likely to result in a high risk to their rights and freedoms. It's about respecting the individual's right to know when their data has been compromised. It's about transparency and trust. But what should these notifications include? Well, it's not just a matter of saying, hey, we've had a data breach. The notification should include the nature of the data breach, the categories and approximate number of data subjects affected, the likely consequences, and the measures taken or proposed. It's about providing a comprehensive picture of what has happened and what is being done about it. Now, you might be thinking, who's going to manage all this? That's where the data protection officer comes in. This person plays a significant role in the notification process. They advise on breach, notification obligations, and assessment, assist with communication strategies regarding the breach, and serve as a point of contact with the supervisory authority. In conclusion, notification is not just a tick-box exercise when dealing with a data breach. It's a vital part of the process that requires careful thought and execution. It's about being transparent, taking responsibility, and doing what's right for the individuals affected. The data protection officer plays a pivotal role in handling data breaches. Let's delve into the responsibilities of the DPO and understand how they help organizations navigate through the complex maze of data protection and breach management. Think of the DPO as the captain of a ship, steering the vessel through stormy seas, ensuring the safety of the crew and the integrity of the journey. Firstly, they advise on breach notification obligations. When a data breach occurs, time is of the essence. The DPO guides the organization through the necessary steps, helping them understand the severity of the breach and the necessary notification requirements. This advice is critical as it helps the organization comply with regulations, avoiding hefty penalties and reputational damage. Next, they assist with communication strategies regarding the breach. The manner in which a breach is communicated can have a profound impact on how it is perceived both internally and externally. The DPO helps craft clear, concise, and transparent messages that inform all stakeholders of the breach, the actions taken, and the steps to prevent future occurrences. This transparency builds trust and reassures stakeholders that the organization is handling the situation responsibly. Finally, the DPO serves as a point of contact with the supervisory authority. This role is vital as it ensures that there is a clear line of communication between the organization and the regulatory bodies. The DPO can provide updates, answer queries, and ensure that the organization is cooperating fully with any investigations. However, the role of the DPO is not just about crisis management. They also play a critical role in preventing breaches from occurring in the first place by advising on data protection best practices, ensuring compliance, and promoting a culture of data protection within the organization. With the right measures in place, we can be better prepared to prevent data breaches. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. With a capable DPO at the helm, organizations can navigate the choppy waters of data protection with confidence, ensuring the safety and security of personal data. Let's discuss how we can be proactive in safeguarding our precious data. One of the most vital steps is to develop and implement an effective data breach response plan. This plan serves as a roadmap, guiding organizations through the chaos that often ensues after a data breach. It outlines the steps to take, the people to notify, and the actions to contain the breach. But a plan is only as good as the people who execute it. That's why regular training and awareness programs for staff are crucial. It's not just the IT department that needs to be alert. Every individual in the organization should understand the importance of data privacy and security. They need to be aware of the potential risks and how their actions can either prevent or cause a data breach. Now let's talk about some technical measures. Encryption is a powerful tool in our arsenal. Encrypting data transforms it into a code that can only be accessed with a key or password. Even if a data breach occurs, the encrypted data remains unintelligible to the unauthorized party. Another crucial measure is access control. Not everyone in the organization needs to have access to all data. Implementing access controls ensures that only authorized individuals have access to sensitive information. This reduces the risk of internal breaches and makes it easier to monitor data access and usage. Finally, we must consider organizational measures. These include policies and procedures that govern how data is stored, handled, and shared within the organization. For instance, a clear policy on data retention and disposal can prevent unnecessary accumulation of data, reducing the potential damage in case of a breach. While we work on prevention, we must also consider our legal and ethical obligations. Data breaches not only pose legal concerns, but also ethical ones. In dealing with data breaches, organizations must tread a delicate line. On one hand, transparency is crucial. It's important to keep all parties informed about the nature of the breach, the data affected, and the steps being taken to resolve the issue. But it's equally important to avoid causing undue alarm. Overstating the severity of a breach could lead to unnecessary panic and could damage trust in the organization. This balance can be tricky to achieve, but it is essential in maintaining credibility and managing the situation effectively. In addition to balancing transparency and alarm, organizations must also consider their ethical obligations. At the core of these obligations is the duty to protect individuals from harm. This doesn't just mean harm in the physical sense, but also harm to their privacy, their identity, and their peace of mind. If personal data falls into the wrong hands, the potential for harm is significant. This is why organizations must prioritize the security of personal data and why they must act swiftly and decisively when a breach occurs. It's also worth noting that ethical considerations extend beyond the immediate aftermath of a breach. They also come into play in the way an organization prepares for potential breaches and in the way it learns from them when they do occur. Regular training, robust security measures, and a culture of respect for personal data all contribute to an ethical approach to data protection. And of course, we mustn't overlook the legal requirements. In the event of a data breach, there are strict rules around documentation and cooperation with authorities. Organizations must record the details of the breach, notify the relevant supervisory authority within 72 hours, and where necessary, inform the individuals affected. Failure to comply with these requirements can result in hefty fines, not to mention damage to the organization's reputation. So, while data breaches are undeniably challenging, they also present an opportunity to demonstrate an organization's commitment to transparency, ethical behavior, and legal compliance. Let's summarize what we have learned. Handling data breaches effectively is crucial for compliance with GDPR and protecting individual rights. As we've traversed through Module 3.2, we've gained a deeper understanding of what a data breach entails, from its definition to the different types that can occur, such as confidentiality, integrity, and availability breaches. We've also discussed the immediate actions required following a data breach, which include a swift assessment of the situation, containment to limit the impact, and thorough documentation of all the details. Moreover, we've explored the notification requirements, stressing the obligation to inform the supervisory authority and affected individuals promptly, and what these notifications must contain. The role of the data protection officer has been highlighted, particularly in advising on breach notifications and assisting with communication strategies. Finally, we've underscored the importance of preventive measures, such as developing a response plan and conducting regular training for staff, alongside the legal and ethical considerations involved. Remember, protecting personal data is not just a regulatory requirement, it's a responsibility we all share.